Hey, what's good, y'all? It's C Will, and this is the Passive Income Network. On this podcast, we talk about investing in assets that produce passive income. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment and say what's good. On this episode, we have a special podcast feature with Emmy of 2i. Let's bring them on the show.
Very excited to be here, and congratulations on your cool show and passive income network. I think that's everyone would love to be part of that.
Yes, and that is the goal. Everyone needs a little passive income. But again, I'm so grateful to meet you out there at the Algorand conference in Dubai. Amazing event. So yeah, happy to have you on the show and then dive in and show my audience community of what you're building over here. So let's start. Let's start with just an introduction of yourself and then explain what 2i is.
Sure. So I am Imi, and I am a mathematician that creates technology. I am also a cyborg and a philosopher and artist. And I have created 2i as a technology for the people. It's a technology that really fits well into the passive income network in a sense. It is tokenized time. 2i is tokenized time. And everybody has time. So the fairest way to value your time, that is the algorithm that we have created. It is the provably fairest market, as it is multidimensional. So imagine you want to hang out with people. Hanging out with someone, you yourself, there's millions of people worldwide that would love to hang out with you.
Facts.
But if you hang out with everyone that wants to hang out with you, you would be completely depleted of all your energy. Right? So the fair way to have social interactions is that the person that is seeking a social interaction with you should replenish you with energy. Right? They should bring energy in whatever form. It's like when people come to your home and they say, I want to hang out with you, I want your advice. They knock on the door. You don't come empty-handed, perhaps. You come with some energy in hand. Here's a piece of cake, and let's have a chat. And so similarly, 2i, it's live on Algorand. It allows people to lock up energy in the form of any coin, whether it's coins that have objective value, like a Bitcoin, an ALGO, a butt coin, whatever coin, or coins of subjective value, like art or cinema tickets as NFTs, and lock those things up to say, hey, Sewell, I would love to have a conversation. Maybe only for a minute, maybe for an hour, maybe for 10 seconds, whatever it is. 2i allows people to interact whilst transmitting energy per second. So every second of interacting, there would be some energy flowing to you. It is a free technology that anybody should take and put out there on their social media and say, hey, do you want to have a chat with me ever? Well, here you go, and you can earn coins. 2i is basically a bridge between the energy networks and information networks. So information networks are like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. You are sharing information. And there's people that want to interact with you. They want to have your information. And the energy networks are the blockchains where you can transmit all kinds of energy. As a 2i is the bridge that lets you connect this. Yeah. So without and by the way, so Tuai is a new technology, but it does not require a network effect for it to be useful. So
Mm.
if you would go on Tuai, install the app, you get your link, your Tuai link. If you share that with the world, with your Twitter and YouTube, then whoever in the world, if they ever feel like, you know what, I would love to have a one-on-one chat with C. Will, they can go there, they lock some coins, you get a notification, oh, there's someone in the world that wants to have a chat with me. And you click the talk button and you connect with this person. And for every second that you're hanging out, you're getting some coins. And the other very important factor is that Tuai is infinitely inclusive. It's what that means is, oh, here's the idea. Each of us, everyone in the world, has something to offer. Everyone in the world has some information that they can share. And the value of that information is greater than zero. It is never zero, it is never negative, but it could be tiny or it could be huge.
Mhm.
In the old world, tiny values could not be transmitted. If you told a bank, let me send, less than 1 cent,
Yeah, they
then
won't do it.
they don't do it. They round it to zero. Right? So in the old world, if the value of your information is very small, then you're basically kicked out. You say, no, that's basically zero, i.e., you're basically worthless, the
Yep.
old world said. In the new world, thanks to Algorand, we
Right.
can actually transact any arbitrarily small or arbitrarily large value. So maybe what I have to offer is worth a millionth of a dollar per second
Mm.
and no more. Well, but that's still something. If I have just advice to give, or I'm a good listener and I'm going on a stroll, on a walk outside, I'm bored, I have nothing else to do, and there are people in the world willing to pay me a millionth of a dollar per second for me to listen to them, well, then cool, let's do that. Now you have value, and now your time is tokenized, and you're receiving the fair value. And it is an open market, so it is the fairest value. If you think about having followers on Twitter or
Yep.
having followers somewhere else, you can say, oh, I have so and so many followers. Well, what percentage of that are real followers and what percentage are bots? Maybe we don't know.
Yep.
But if you can say, hey, there's people actually giving me this and this much energy for every second of my time, then that is real value. That is, you can really
Let's
brag.
Yeah, let's I want to break it down, make sure my audience and everybody's clear. So can we define energy as like monetary value? Because pretty much there in that sense. So as you said, it could be in the form of, let's focus on the Algorand, Go BTC, Go ETH, USDC, ALGO, and all the rest of the tokens there. Plus, it could be NFTs, it could be other access tokens and whatnot. Is that we're saying there as in terms of energy being defined?
Correct. You can think simply that energy can be stored in money. It's essentially the same thing. If I expend energy today by cleaning something and someone gives me money in exchange, I can keep that money in my wallet for 20 years. And then after 20 years, I can use that money to convince someone to expend energy, maybe to clean my pool.
Yep.
I have then stored energy over time. And so money is a storage, an efficient
Time
storage.
and space.
Yeah, time and space. Exactly. I have transported potentially massive amounts of energy in a tiny piece of on my device or a tiny piece of paper. Money can be in paper form too, and over time as well. And the leakage of this storage is called inflation.
Yep.
That's the energy lost. But the more you have money, Well, you can transform that into energy by convincing people to do something, jump up and down or do whatever. So, energy, we know from physics, cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed.
I learned that from the movie Transformers.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah, and money is a very efficient form of storage of energy because it is a social construct, and so it does not require physical batteries. So that makes it really efficient.
okay, can we talk about like why did you create this and what were the challenge or problem you're trying to solve here?
Mhm. So it started off with, actually, the origin story was I wanted to make an app where anyone could go on a site and find IMI
Okay.
physically. So you would put in a few coins, and the app would show you just for 1 second my actual physical location on the world or in the
Uh,
universe, so to
yep,
speak.
the
You know,
universe.
Google Maps zooming in, like Google Earth zooming in on my location, and then so if you keep paying coins, you could eventually actually find me somewhere and then have a conversation with me. I love to talk with people about any topic. And then from that, the idea was, well, this can be dangerous, of course. So I
Yes.
said, if I make this app for myself, in fact, anyone else can use it. Any artist, politician, anyone who wants to have random people meet them, but in exchange for some coins. That's possible. And so the thought of safety meant, well, let's transport this to the virtual realm. Why don't we just meet each other
Digitally,
virtually?
virtually.
But there should be an exchange with coins to make it fair. Why? Because otherwise, if I make myself available worldwide, well, there's a lot of people that want to talk to me. How do I choose who comes first and who comes next? Well, and you can do that if you have a marketplace.
Yep.
In the marketplace, the one who would bid more would see me first. Then the problem arises, well, so I should set, of course, my minimum. I say, less than some amount is not worth my time, I could
Yep.
say. That's fair. I could set the minimum at 0, and then I'm meeting people for free, but maybe someone else sets it at greater than 0. And then what about, what if someone is bid the minimum amount to meet me, but then people keep coming and offering more and more and more? Does that mean they're pushing out those people that bid less? So the challenge of the algorithm was, how do you balance
Hmm.
those people that are just bidding the minimum, the bare minimum, those people that are bidding more, those people that are bidding in energy of subjective value like art,
Yep.
and how do you balance that whilst giving people that are bidding higher amounts some advantage? There has to be some reason to bid more.
Yep.
That's how we create a market. And so the innovation of 2i2i is actually that it's this multi-dimensional marketplace, infinitely inclusive, that combines these categories. We call the cronies the ones that bid the minimum.
Okay.
Then there's the high rollers that can bid more, and they can skip somewhat, save some time and talk to me earlier.
Yep.
The eccentrics who are bidding art, and then we even add the lurkers, that are those that are bidding less than the minimum. The lurkers never get to actually talk with me because they're bidding less than my minimum, but they complete the picture.
Mm.
Because now I can see, you know what? There's people out there, they want to talk with me, but they're saying your minimum price is too high.
Hmm.
So we're here, and so that allows me to optimize my value. I might say, oh, you know what? I thought if I lower my minimum, I'm going to get more people talking with me, but I'm
So
going to get less.
essentially, you also are, in a way, talking about a person's price discovery with their time value, basically. So I'm putting my time and my personal time at a value of price discovery with the community involved. That is an interesting concept. So I want to ask, is this when you said setting up a link, right? Will you do this on a website, or is this in like an app that you download, or is this something that you can integrate into other social medias?
So right now it's an app and a web app, both. So it's an app on Android, it's an app on iOS
Okay.
as a beta version on Apple. So Apple has not yet quite decided whether they want to allow this
Yep.
completely, but it's available as a beta test. So you can
Okay.
already do it on iOS and as a web app on the website as a alpha version right now.
Okay.
And it's really, indeed, what you just said is exactly the point. It's about discovering the fairest value. And so the innovation that we have, and this is like patent pending,
Yep.
and the end vision of 2i2i is this is made for the people and is supposed to be by the people. There's a 2i2i token that is not traded yet, but every user already receives these tokens. And this is going to be your ownership in the DAO
Okay.
and in the decentralized organization that will own 2i2i. And all the value that is created by this network. So anytime anybody, any two users interact, it is a transaction. And so we can trivially take a cut of the transaction. The system is set to take 10% right now. That goes to the DAO in any coin, right? Whatever coin was being transacted, we take 10% out. Of course, if it's an NFT with one coin, there's nothing to be taken then.
Yeah. I was about to say my next question. Yeah.
That's essentially free then.
Yeah.
So all 2i2i token holders will share in the entire value that the network is bringing in, and of course they will vote for changes, etc. This is meant to democratize time and to allow everyone in the world to harness the fair value for their time. I think about people. First of all, of course, this works well for people who already have a following, like yourself. If you put your 2i2i link out there, then people are going to come and give you some coins to hang out with you. But actually, and the idea is that literally everyone has value. So if I think about people, think about the Ukraine war going on right now. There's people that are displaced. They are in different places. Imagine you could have a few minutes small talk chat with someone who is displaced, and you're saying, how are you doing? What's going on? They show, we had to move countries and this and that. And by having that small talk, at the same time, though, you're giving them some coins, you're giving them energy, and they can use those coins to better their lives, to buy food or whatever they want to do with it. So this technology, just like technologies like Uber gave everyone who has a car a potential income stream, 2i2i gives everyone that has internet a potential income stream.
You know what? I would say that's a great example from the Ubers to the Lyfts and all that you can monetize yourself. Even they got things like a TaskRabbit, like where if you can type, if you have any other skills, even as you mentioned earlier, even if you can clean well, people can then contract you out to do that. So that is a nice concept to be able to essentially contract our time. That it makes a lot of sense in that example for sure.
Yes, and I would like to especially underline that because 2i2i is tokenized time, and literally everybody has time, 2i2i is thereby the DApp with the widest appeal. Everyone in the world can benefit from using 2i2i, and immediately just share your link with the world and it works. We don't have to have a million people on the network for it to have value.
No.
If you have enough followers, then the followers will come and give you coins. And of course, for actually people without followers to get value, that does require some network effect for this to be popular enough. But anyone who has a following, and so I
Most
urge.
people do. If you're on social, you have at least someone following who's interested. It's true.
Exactly. And the other big, the other thing I want to urge Algo fam or anybody to, especially people who are interested or invested in Algorand, to realize is the easiest way that I see that we can make Algorand jump really high up is to use 2i2i to solve the problem of Twitter. Twitter right now.
Go ahead.
Twitter right now has a revenue problem. They're trying to find ways how to earn money, right? They're trying different fees, etc. Well, the solution, here's a very simple solution. Let users on Twitter lock coins and bid coins to have one-on-one conversations with each other. Using 2i2i as this free and open, multidimensional, infinitely inclusive market, even people that have lots of followers, even someone who has 100 million followers on Twitter, would they talk to random other Twitter users one-on-one? Well, they would if the price is high enough. Everyone has a price high enough. Even someone like Elon Musk should not.
That's who I was thinking, yeah, because people would pay him to talk.
Exactly. Like if someone says, I'm going to give you a Bitcoin per second, I mean, then even Elon Musk cannot say no.
Yep.
I don't even know how much that amounts to per hour, but it's an insane amount, right?
Yep. Yeah.
There is an amount, and there are people in the world with enough energy, money, to lock it up, to have a one-on-one convo with someone who is very famous and normally hard to reach. Because now we have a fair market. So people on Twitter could be, instead of tweeting, on top of tweeting with each other, I click on a user, 100 million followers, 50 million followers. Normally, they will not see my tweet. They will not see my DM, even less so. They will have their DMs closed because otherwise they would have too many DMs. And there's no point. It's just massive. But if that communication is attached with energy that they receive, then they're not going to say no.
I mean, it's true because, I get a lot of messages myself, and, it's like one of these things where you have to filter because our time is limited. So you kind of quickly skim, like, what are you talking to me about? Is this important enough for me to actually respond to? Right. And that is the same concept in CERN. But if someone put, as you said, some energy with that message, I'm more likely to open the message because you valued my time at the way that I, put myself out there. So I can see that being very useful. And, for some of these social people out there, you can be doing this all day, actually. And they will have enough people who would, from around the world, who would literally want to talk all day about all kind of different things. This could be something very powerful for sure.
That's right. And it's trivial to monetize because, again, we have transactions. And so you just take a cut, and Twitter would immediately have revenue from people interacting with each other. Yep. And since, by the way, this would work for other information networks too, like Instagram or whatever, it's just that Twitter right now has a revenue problem.
Big time.
So if we, as AlgoFam, together push this message that I'm conveying right now, for it to reach somebody at Twitter who has enough of a power at Twitter, and this person understands what we are saying, then we could make a joint venture, 2i2i, which is based on Algorand, connects to Twitter, and we skyrocket. So it's in the interest of everyone from Algorand to convey this. Actually, I don't see anything that has a wider appeal as a technology based on Algorand than 2i2i. And like you were saying, the innovation of 2i2i is when there is a limited supply
Yep.
in a market. In a marketplace, when you have a limited supply, then the job of the market is to order the demand. That is, who of the demand gets serviced first and who's
Yep.
next and who's next. That's what a market does. And normally, if you have a fixed price, then the ordering is chronological. Who
Yep.
came first?
First come, first serve.
Right? First come, first serve. If you have a market where you can bid different amounts, then the ordering is by the higher amount first serve. And what 2i2i has done is balance all of this, but also make it fair. So imagine on Twitter, someone is bidding just a small amount. Will they ever have their turn? 2i2i does so via a simple setting we call importance. Earlier, I mentioned the different categories. There's the cronies bidding the minimum, the high rollers, the eccentrics, the lurkers. The importance is just a number that, let's say you setting the importance, you would give a number to each category. Let's say the cronies, number 2, high rollers, number 3, eccentrics, number 1, and lurkers are always number 0. And so now we add up the numbers. 2 plus 3 plus 1, that's 6. And so what it means that on average, out of every 6 people that you interact with, 2 will be cronies, 3 will be high rollers, and 1 will be an eccentric. And that's your setting. So and 0 lurkers, because lurkers are by definition never going to interact with you until you lower your minimum price, perhaps changing lurkers into eccentrics or high rollers. So if you set the setting in such a way that you say, I don't care about art, I don't want any art, then you set the eccentrics importance to 0. They will never get their turn. You say, I care about people that give me more. So you put the importance of the high rollers higher or the cronies higher. It's up to you. It's up to you what kind of a market you want. But these 3 numbers that you set as the importance give you the flexibility to create the type of market for the supply for you, for your time. And by the way, this innovation, so this which is to be a patent at some point, which will be owned by the DAO as well. Right? And this innovation, the marketplace, it works for any supply, for any limited supply. So it connects any supply to its demand in this multidimensional and infinitely inclusive manner. And hence, because this is multidimensional, i.e. we can do any type of energy, this becomes the fairest market possible, i.e. the price is the fairest value and price for this supply. What we have done is, so we're going to open up 2i2i as an open API. So anybody who wants to create any business connecting any supply to its demand can use 2i2i as a technology. We have chosen as a first application to equate supply to time, because everybody has time. So it's the coolest supply, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We got to slowly start to close out. So we're going to hit a few rapid fire things. For one, why did you choose Algorand rather a Cardano or Ethereum or a Solana?
Right. So in my opinion, I've been doing maths and computer engineering for more than 30 years now. It's what I've been doing since I'm 8 years old. It's my passion, and I'm totally into this. And I've looked at all the different blockchains, not all the different, that was an exaggeration. Many blockchains, and read the white papers. And in my opinion, Algorand is the best technology, the best engineering that I have seen, perhaps outside of Google itself.
Mm.
Algorand is clean and is very mathematical.
Yep.
It's
Shout out to Silvio.
Shout out to Silvio. Exactly. I tried to talk with Silvio at Decipher, but there was some
He
gatekeeping
was
going on.
big. I couldn't get to him either.
Right. I got 30 seconds. I told him something nice, and then there was like a gatekeeper was like, "Oh, that was nice. Goodbye." And they moved on.
Yeah, he did have an entourage. Okay, the next one. You said you were a cyborg. So what's up with all the colors and the Twitter popped up when you was talking about Twitter? Speak on that briefly.
Sure. So I am also a philosopher, and one of the things I talk about is gender theory. And gender theory was created because there's genders with different implied rules and expectations. And I think that essentially we all actually are social cyborgs, all of us, as in we are what we can manipulate. So we are us plus the technology that we use as a social team. That is what has allowed us to dominate the planet. It is us as social technological beings that rule
Yep.
this planet, no individual. And so being one of the advantages of being a cyborg is that your visual presentation is completely free. We have no rules on how you have to look like. And so in the future, we shall move from being static visually to being dynamic, because that is just more freedom.
Makes sense. Okay. And then the final two here. Can you tell the folks where to find 2i and how to download or use the app real quick? And
Sure.
then let me pull this up too, just make sure. And this is the app here, right?
This is what the app looks like. This would be the web app. Yeah.
Web
If
app.
you go on 2i2i.app, the website, that would be the way to start. Go to 2i2i.app and is this 2i2i.app?
Yeah, I pulled it up. Yeah. I just wanted to pull it up so they can just have a look at it real quick.
If I go on 2i2i.app, I think it's a website first, 2i2i.app, and it has links to download. So I'm not sure now, actually, 2i2i.app or about.2i2i.app.
Let me just type it in. I just did 2i2i.app. I don't think it's about.
Can you try about.2i2i.app?
About first, about
first.
2i about 2i2i.app. Okay. No, this one's not popping up. When I do 2i, it pops up.
If you do about, let me try it. About 2i2i.app. Yeah, there we go. It's a website.
Here, you can share your screen, I believe, too.
Yeah, let me just let me try if I can.
You should be able to share.
Why am I not able to? I have to just find. I'm on two monitors. I have to find.
You know what? Put it in the comments in the chat, and then I'll just put it up on the private chat.
Yeah, here we go. Let's do that.
That'll make it easy.
Try this link.
Okay. Oh, I see. Dot. Oh, you said okay. Share this tab instead. Here we are. Can you see it?
No.
Oh, let me pull it up. There we are.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, this is the website.
Yep.
About.2i2i.app. There you have a link for Android, for the App Store and the web app.
Yep, I see it here at the bottom.
And
philosophy, some roadmap features. Yes, y'all, make sure y'all go check this out. Definitely go do your research. This is a great conversation. Nice website as well.
Thank you. And so it's really simple to use. When you install 2i2i, you will see your own 2i2i link. It's a QR code or a link. Just share that link with your world, with your social media. And then people can follow that link.
Yep.
In turn, also install 2i2i, connect any wallet they want to connect.
Okay.
Like DFly or Para, whatever. And then they can, again, follow your link find you and lock some coins, and then you would get a notification that there's somebody that wants to talk with you.
Excellent. All right. And the final thing here, I like to give a little advice for, can you give some advice for someone out here who wants to potentially build on Algorand or tap into the Web3 space as an entrepreneur? And this could be simple or complicated as possible. I know you got some good advice there.
As an entrepreneur, I mean, I need advice myself. Entrepreneur.
Well, that's real. That is advice right there. So
I myself am a technologist and mathematician,
okay.
and I can certainly go and find me. By the way, on 2i2i, I should have shared my link. That this was not optimal now. Have a one-on-one chat with
as
me.
a technologist, then speak on that. Give some advice about someone who is not a technologist that wants to become one, because in this space you got to have some type of technologist in you.
Right. Okay. So I think the best advice to start creating technologies, and I think that that's really the most value, is creating technologies. And then after that is creating communities. And then you have something going. The best advice to create technology is you need some kind of a passion project. Figure out, and this has to be as small as possible. You might have a long-term large vision, but then you break it down into smaller pieces. Take one of these smaller pieces, have it be as simple as possible, as quintessential as to the core, find out what is needed, and then try to use technology, try to create technology to get that to work. How does that work? Well, then you go to the internet, you find out, how could I do this? You Google, you ask questions on Reddit, on Stack Overflow. What technology would it be? Then you find out, oh, this technology would help, but how do I use it? Difficult. So the only way to make it happen is if you are passionate about this project, so that you keep spending time until you get it to work. And once you do that, you will look back and you'll see, oh my gosh, now I have a skill. I can do this. I can create this technology. And then you do the next and the next. And so the way it does not work, in my opinion, or not as well, is by reading books or just listening to people to talk about it. Rather, you have to pick some tiny project and you have to just persist and keep working on that one goal until that one works. And that is how you acquire mastery and skill.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you for that there. That's the advice I was want my audience to get exposed to. So thank you. Definitely appreciate it. Again, just give them the name of that website one more time before you go.
It's 2i2i.app.
Cool. So make sure y'all go to about.2i2i.app. Cool.
About.2i2i.app. Yes.
Yes. Emmy, thank you for hopping on the show. I'm going to slide you out and do my outro.
Cool. Nice talking to you.
Yes. All right, y'all. You heard it here. We had Emmy on the show talking about 2i2i. Make sure y'all go check out the website and go experiment and learn how you could take this energy and transfer this energy to others and help spread the love. Great idea. And let's get this out there to y'all. Make sure y'all leave any comments, suggestions below, and look out for this audio experience on Spotify and all the rest of the social medias. Again, it's C. Will here with the Passive Income Network. I am gone.